Hey everyone, it's Dan, aka Hoop Sneakers, and I'm back on YouTube. It's been a while, I know. We've had an extremely long hiatus from YouTube. This is almost going to be the first video I want to put up on the channel with me in front of the camera in a year and a half, and so much has happened in that time. I mean, the Hoop Sneakers Instagram pages. It's got 12,000 followers, which is amazing, and I'm really proud of that. I've worked really hard, and I appreciate everybody out there that's checking this video out, that is following the page over on Instagram. I greatly appreciate that, and thank you for all your support in everything I'm trying to do in terms of the Hoop Sneakers brand, and me, Dan, bringing to you what I consider to be information, knowledge, and just an understanding of what sneakers are the best value for your money. What else has been going on? The Instagram has been the main thing. I've put out about 70 or 80 videos on TikTok. Started a podcast at the start of this year, back in January, which has 10 episodes now. So yeah, everything's going really well. I'm obviously using this time that we have in self-isolation, in lockdown, in quarantine, to put out a lot of content for everybody that's following along with the Hoop Sneakers brand across all those platforms. And so yeah, without further ado, what I wanted to... Oh, and we have merchandise, which is sweet. Right now we've got Hoop Sneakers hoodies and Hoop Sneakers t-shirts. They're a lightweight shirt that you can use as a shooting shirt. And right now I just have those available to locally, where I'm from, in Australia. And basing on how that goes, we'll jump off from there and hopefully make it available more wide... to a wider customer base. We'll scale it up and hopefully we'll get it shipped out, all over the world. So I'm really hoping that happens. I'm really excited about it. And I'm really proud of what I've been able to achieve and accomplish thus far. But the main reason I wanted to jump on in front of the camera today is this weekend I was playing around with the idea of maybe jumping on Instagram Live. I didn't necessarily feel like just recording straight podcasts. I did want to jump back in front of the camera. And I've kind of been thinking about all the different sneakers that I wish I could buy right now, which sounds a little bit silly. But I was having a conversation with my friend Zach, who's a store manager here in Geelong at Foot Locker, Australia, and he's been on the Hoop Sneakers podcast, which you can find on Spotify as well as all the other main podcast platforms. I was having a chat with Zach a few weeks ago, just not necessarily about the basketball sneakers that I was looking to get, to pick up, but more just like casual sneakers that have been coming out, because there's been a lot of cool things that are happening in that sort of space, in terms of like lifestyle, casual, off-court, or like running sneakers. So I just wanted to jump on, talk about like a few of the sneakers that I've got my eye on. I'm sort of like keeping track of, and they're just in the back of my mind. Like first and foremost would be the Air Max 2090. So this year is the 30th anniversary of Nike's Air Max 90, which came out in 1990. Obviously, and that sneaker, the Air Max 90, is one of my favourite. It's probably my second most favourite ever off-court casual sneaker model. And then they've brought out the Air Max 2090, which is a modern rendition of the Air Max 90. It's like with modern materials, but it's also got some design and styling elements that harken back to that old model. And I was really keen on checking that model out, but unfortunately I would like to try them on in store, which I can't right now, but as we start to reopen here in Australia, be able to check those out and hopefully pick up a pair of those. Also, there is, so it's just about, I think it's the 51st year of the Adidas Superstar, which is known by most people as the Shell Toe. And so Jonah Hill has teamed up with Adidas, and they've dropped a Jonah Hill collaboration of the Adidas Superstar, which I personally think is really cool. I'm not really much of a movie guy, and I don't really consider myself to have a favourite actor, but Jonah Hill is in one of my top 5 all-time favourite movies, which is 22 Jump Street, and I think it's really cool that he's got a collaboration with the Adidas Superstar. I like the way it looks. Obviously, it's not too much of a drastic shift away from what the Superstar already is, but I do really like it, and it's something that I've got my eye on. I'd love to pick up a pair of those as well. Another sneaker that caught my eye, just like in terms of off court, is the Asics Quantum 365. There was an Oreo colorway that dropped, and they look super fresh and super clean and super chill. So I was kind of keeping my eye out on those, so I got a lot of really good feedback from people. That's a really comfortable sort of all day, wear all day, cushion under your feet sort of sneaker. So that's another one that I noticed. And then, I mean, obviously we started off this conversation talking about the Air Max 90, and there was the Air Max 90 pack that was due to release a few months ago now, or even it was either really early this year or it was even late last year as we moved into 2020. There was the pack that was supposed to drop, and there was like a purple, there was like a Volt color, and there was like a really light blue, I think, was the pack, and they never end up making their way to retail outlets here in Australia. The men's release of those was pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and I think we're still waiting for them. I think women's and kid sizes did arrive, but the men's, for whatever reason, that release of those got delayed or postponed, and so we haven't had an opportunity here to grab a pair of those. I would like to update my Air Max 90s. My current pair that I have, is getting a bit worn down. I was just checking out whether I wanted to grab them, but you all know what an Air Max 90 looks like. So, I mean, I would like to grab another pair of those, but that's it's not super necessary right now, so I might just like hold off on that just for a little while. And then I guess like what you guys are really here for, I guess I'll touch on real quick some of the performance basketball models that I've got my eye on that I still want to try out, that have released some time ago, or that are due to come out. I guess the best place to start there would be the New Balance Omnis. Now, I've had a few conversations with people over on the Instagram page, just in the comment sections, about this sneaker. And it's a sneaker that I'd still love to try out, just based on what I've heard about the way it performs, especially the traction and the cushion. Even the materials are nice. I think that the weakest category of that sneaker is the fit, but I think for me, as a wide footer, I think they would fit me really well. And they additionally have an option for a wide foot, so that's something that really intrigues me. It's still really hard to come across the New Balance Omnis. They're still releasing in sort of more limited quantities, so I do still keep my eye out on the New Balance Australia website just to see what's available there and to see if I can pick up a pair. So that's probably where I start. I still want to try out the Omnis from New Balance. I think where I could go from there is the Nike KD13, which is a sneaker I've got my eye on. I'm really keen to try out. The reason being is obviously they've retained the Zoom Air Strobel board that debuted in the KD12, and while I really wanted to try out the KD12s, I never ended up pulling the trigger on any pair. I was really close to picking up the Don C collaboration of the KD12 that was for All-Star Weekend, and unfortunately I just couldn't get my hands on a pair in retail here in Australia. But now with the KD13 coming out, contrary to the popular opinion online, I actually like the way the KD13 looks more than the KD12, which is good for me. And I've played around with them on the Nike By You site, and I've put together a colorway that I really like, just with some sort of like purples and bright crimsons, just playing on the Hoop Sneakers logo with it being that light purple color. So definitely KD13 would be the next sneaker. I think from there, probably transitioning. There's a couple of low top sneakers that I would like to try out. Probably the best place to go next would be the Air Jordan 34 Low. The reason being is, as I've gotten older, I do prefer a low top sneaker, and I didn't actually cop the Air Jordan 34 like the mids, the standard model. So in order to try out the 34s, I'd love to try that in the low top version, which Chris over on weartesters.com and I think Jerome and I think Levi at Sneaker Gears all been really effusive in their praise of the Jordan 34 as being one of the best performance basketball models of 2019. So the 34 Low is something I'm definitely interested in trying out for myself on the court, with that obviously really large volume 4-foot Zoom airbag that is somewhat unlocked, not completely, but it peeks through the Eclipse plate in the midsole, so it does have room to expand, contract, move around, and do its thing in terms of the cushioning. So another low top sneaker that I'm intrigued by is the Anta KT5 Low. So I've got the KT4s, and I got them in size 11. I really wish 11.5 was available, because as a wide foot, I'd love to go up half a size and try out The KT4s at half a size up. Same thing with the KT5 in both the mid and the low top. Only run up to size 11 on famujisneaker.com. So that's a little bit disappointing. I think I would want to go up to an 11.5 in those. So I'll probably end up skipping those. But I would like to. I'd love to give them a look. Jalik, who's a wear tester, weartesters.com. At Look at Leak on Instagram. He had a look at the KT5 low in the Bahamas colorway, I believe it was, and they felt really good on foot. So I'd love to try them out if I had an opportunity. Last sneaker that's sort of coming out at the moment that I wouldn't mind trying out is the Jordan Brand Westbrook One Take, which is a takedown or a budget model from the Why Not 0.3. Initially, I didn't like it when it first came out. Didn't like the way it looked. And more colorways have come out. One colorway that grabbed my eye was the Beijing colorway, which is I've posted about it over on my page at hoops_sneakers_ on Instagram. Really like that colorway. Not sure if I'll cop the Westbrook One Take at any point in time. It's just something. It's just a sneaker that's on my radar that I wouldn't mind giving a go and trying them out. And then finally, the last sneaker that I've got my eye on and I'm monitoring when it's going to release and come out is the Adidas Next Level 2.0. Which is super interesting. And so when the Adidas Next Level came out, it was obviously a laceless sneaker, completely laceless, and it debuted their Light Strike foam. Now, what initially why I didn't cop those was the fact that they were laceless. But of course, they've been performance tested and reported to work really well and be a really supportive sneaker, and are obviously worn in the NBA by a number of players, and I believe Trae Young primarily, along with Zach LaVine, Kristaps Porzingis, or the Next Level. So they're players at varying positions of varying size. You've almost got a point guard, a wing, and a big man. So so they obviously work. So in terms of the Next Level 2, I'm actually curious. I like the way they look more than the Next Level 1, and then I'd be interested to try them out, just obviously because they're laceless, to see how that actually works, see how supportive it is, see how it fits, especially being a wide footer. So there's a sneaker that I've got my just got my eye on, I've got on my radar in terms of when they're released. But that's pretty much all I wanted to jump on here and talk about today. Just give you guys a rundown on some of the things that I'm interested in picking up, some of the sneakers that I'm interested in copying, some performance kicks that are on my radar. But with all that being said, like I said at the start, greatly appreciate you guys supporting me, especially over on Instagram at hoops_sneakers_. If you've come here from elsewhere and you're not checking me out on Instagram, I highly encourage you to do so. I try to collate news and releases all in one place, along with putting out original content, some information, knowledge, and pictures of my own sneakers as well. So please go and check me out over there. But with all that being said, thanks for checking me out in today's video. My name's Dan, aka Hoop Sneakers, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.